here with Madison Academy coach Eric Cohu. Coach, fourth straight year that you guys are in the championship round. How did you guys get back here this year?
Well, Josh, our guys have stayed the course, been resilient. The semifinal game with Glencoe looked like we might be going home, and our guys made some plays there at the end of the fourth quarter that allowed us to continue on. But really, our guys have done a really good job of working hard in the off season. Having that home opener on ESPN against Leeds was a motivator to have them work hard in the summer, and then when Leeds beat us in the last second field goal, I think it served as inspiration for us to just keep working hard and bouncing back. And hats off to our guys. We have 5 sophomores playing for the first time in varsity football, 5 juniors to start. We had a lot of new young guys that had to figure out what high school football is about. And there was no better test than Leeds was in the 4A championship to start the season out. But I think that loss kind of motivated our guys, and we've been able to rattle off 13 straight.
You guys have had a lot of success. That means that you enter the season with some big expectations, sort of a target on your back.
Yeah.
How do you think your guys have endured that?
Well, try to be real honest with them on, everybody wants to knock us, off and beat us, and certainly we have a big target. And I think, we've tried to fight against complacency and trying to make sure they understand that they've got to be hungry if they want to move on and keep going. And so I think those are things we do talk about in the off season, throughout the season, is staying hungry. This is a new year. Every game's a new game. But I also think that the winning builds on itself to where our guys want to win, they expect to win. They do realize that everybody's playing their best game, and certainly we have a target on our back week in, week out with everybody we play.
The headline guys for you guys, of course, are Kerryon Johnson and Malik Miller. Everybody knows about those guys. First, talk about the kind of seasons that those two have had.
Well, they've had great seasons, and thankfully they've stayed healthy all year. That's been really important. Both of them, roughly around the 1,500-yard range rushing, and Kerryon's added another 500 or 600 receiving. They're just outstanding running backs, and Kerryon's an explosive, dynamic offensive player. I had the chance to coach 3 or 4 guys that play in the NFL, multiple Division I players throughout my career, and I'll tell you, he's the biggest playmaker I've ever seen. Just opportunistic, knows when to make a big play, and just can almost will himself to make the big play. Malik is an outstanding running back, traditional heavy power running back that teams have trouble bringing down, especially in the second half. Last year in the semifinal game, Malik took over the second half. Kerryon was hurt most of the postseason last year, didn't play much at all, and Malik kind of took over with a power running game. Last night in the semifinal game against Glencoe, second half, he had a lot of big plays, and he's just tough to bring down, especially as teams wear down as the game goes on.
Those guys get so much attention, but you don't get here with 2 players, so tell us about some of the other guys that really stepped forward for you guys.
Right. Jordan Matthews in 2009 was the best player on the field week in, week out for us, and is a second-round draft pick in the NFL. Could be Rookie of the Year this year for the Eagles, and SEC's leading receiver of all time. So that's and the other guys played their hearts out that year. But one player or having the best player on the field doesn't allow you to go all the way. So we definitely have 2 of the better players on the field every week. But the other guys have really stepped up, and we've got Blake Coward, our quarterback, that's 38-1 as a starting quarterback, and he's a great game manager. He's poised, he's a leader, he's got a great arm, moves well in the pocket, and can evade tacklers, and he picked up a couple big first downs last night with his feet when the pocket broke down. And so guys like that, guys like Adam Mann and Blake Wimberly, senior linemen, defensive players that play hard and lead the team, Will Dye, John Kreider, those guys are outstanding linemen, and oftentimes on the line we don't get a lot of credit, but those guys have done a good job this year. We've had some sophomores step up. Austin Troxel, a really good young lineman, first year varsity football. Jake Christa. So we've had young guys step up, both offensively and defensively, that have bought in, that have learned how to play varsity football, and hats off to those guys. 10 sophomores and juniors all together on that field starting somewhere, and those guys have really been the key to us having a difference between a good year and a great year, and those guys have done a good job.
And because you played in the championship round 4 years in a row, do you think that's an advantage, or how do you capitalize on whatever advantage that gives you?
Well, I think we don't have to concern ourselves a lot with the some of the external things. The first time playing the championship, you're really scheduling and logistical management and organization and that sort of thing is new, and so it's stressful. And one good thing is I'm gonna hit ditto on our agenda, and so that's already done from last year, previous seasons. So we know what time to leave. We know what buses to charter, and where to eat and that sort of thing. So cutting down on some of the logistical management, can help us focus a little more on football. But at this point in the game, you're dealing with two great teams, and you're dealing with a situation where people do what they do. So we're going to do what we do. Dale County's going to do what they do. So I would say the biggest thing, just alleviate some stress on some of the non-football external issues.